Hey guys, what's up? It's Maria here again with you, and I don't know if you can tell, but I am in my new apartment, which is super exciting. I moved in much earlier today. It's kind of dark in here because it is almost midnight. I was really busy moving in and stuff for most of the day, and then I just kind of kept pushing this off, but I decided I wanted to actually record it today. So I'm finally doing it. Um, but yeah, so I'm in my new apartment and my roommate is currently in her room. I think she's on the phone, so you guys will probably meet my roommates at some point. But yeah, it's so much bigger than I was expecting, or I don't know. I It's so much bigger than I would have imagined it to be, especially coming from a dorm room last year, which was like really small. But this is, I mean, my room is so big. It's so big. And like I have my own bathroom. I don't have to share it with my other roommates, and like we all have our own bathrooms and we all have walk-in closets. It's so nice, and it's, oh my gosh, I just love it so much. And that wall back there, that's incredibly blank right now, will eventually have lots of art up on it. Uh, but I was lazy today and I didn't feel like putting it all up, so I didn't. So right now it's just a very blank, boring white wall, which kind of sounds like me. But yeah, but tomorrow probably I will put my art up, and so in the next video I record, I will probably have a lot of art behind me um, while recording, which, will be a much nicer backdrop than a plain, beigeish, grayish wall. But anyways, that's all beside the point. But I am very excited to be here and just generally pumped to be in my new apartment. Although clearly it's kind of chilly, but I'm also usually a pretty cold person, so that's probably just me. But anyways, uh, this is part two of my favorites video, um, videos, whatever. Uh, and I'm going to talk about just kind of my general hobbies and interests, which might give you guys kind of more subject matter to ask me questions about. Um, so I'm just going to give a pretty general list and try not to talk about each thing for too long because I don't want this video to be super long. But yeah, so my general hobbies and stuff. Theater is a big one, especially musical theater. I've been in plays, since I was 4, and I do this one theater company every summer that we put on a big musical at the end of a 3-week long practicing and rehearsals and stuff. And I've done that since I've done that for almost 10 years now, I think. Um, so musical theater has always been a huge thing for me, and I've never really done it at school because I'm always too nervous to try out, actually. Like auditions kind of freak me out. um, I don't know, I don't like being up in front of a lot of people, which I guess is kind of ironic because I'm doing this right now, but this is kind of easier because I'm really just talking to a camera, and then I don't actually have to be like talking to you guys face to face, which I'm sure you're all lovely people, but it's so much easier for me to just talk to, my computer. And um, so going up in front of a lot of people is like really nerve-wracking to me. So I usually don't do theater in school, um, but I do it during the summer a lot because it's a much smaller group. So I've been in my fair share of plays, um, and so obviously singing and just music in general, I just love. I come from a pretty musical family, at least on my mom's side. They're, oh my gosh, like everyone sings on her side of the family, so I've just kind of always grown up surrounded by music and stuff. So it's just, I don't know, like a big part of my life, I guess. Um, Another hobby, I guess, for me is writing, especially poetry, but really just writing in general. Although I tend to write a lot more poetry than prose because any prose I write, I usually don't finish because I suck at actually finishing things. Um, which is why it's easier for me to write and complete poetry because it's generally shorter. And I don't know, it can flow better for me. But when I was in high school, we had to pick. It was like an arts centered, focused, I guess, high school, and we had to pick a an art to kind of major in. Like you took classes in it all 4 years of high school, and I did creative writing. Um, and I don't know, I just really love writing poetry, and I sound, I don't know, like such a nerd, I feel like. But yeah, I don't know. Poetry's great. Reading poetry is great. Writing poetry is great. Um, yeah. And then also drawing is kind of a hobby of mine, I guess. I do a lot of sketching in my own sketchbooks and in my school notebooks and stuff too. Um, and I've actually posted some of my art online on my Tumblr account, so I can link my art tag in the description, I guess, if you want to check it out. Um, Personally, I don't think my art's very good, but my opinion is probably pretty skewed. Um, my friends tell me it's good, so I don't know. but um, but yeah, so you can check that out if you want, and I do take free commissions. So if you want me to attempt to draw you something, you can ask me for that too, and I can send it to you on Tumblr or Twitter now. I guess I have a Twitter. Um, so yeah, uh, I also really love learning and practicing languages, which specifically would be Spanish and Latin, because I've taken Spanish since I was like 4 or 5, um, and I want to minor in it in college. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. I think I'll be able to do that. And I mean, I'm almost fluent in it, I guess. Like I can read it and write it, and like I can read it and write it and understand it, but speaking it is kind of hard for me because I have to like think about what I want to say and translate it before I can actually say it. So like talking speaking in Spanish and trying to have a conversation is hard because I still have to translate everything before I can say anything, in response to people. So, um, but I really want to be able to be fully fluent because, um, I don't know, I love the language, and it's it's such a beautiful language, and so many beautiful cultures that go, along with it, and it just with the large amounts of Hispanic people that live in the US, and that's increasing every year. I think it's important to, be able to speak at least a little bit of Spanish because it's such a large population of our country that I I don't know. That's what I think, at least. Like I think, you know, I would want to communicate, and I don't know. I feel like kind of expecting everyone to know English is kind of shitty because like other languages are important too. I don't know. Anyways, um, and then Latin. Uh, I Latin is so hard. If you think it sounds like fun and you want to take it for fun, don't do it. It's incredibly difficult and you probably will regret it unless you really like challenging yourself. I hate myself, so I uh, have to take a lot of Latin classes because I'm majoring in classics, which is the study of like ancient Greece and Rome, which means I get to take uh, up to like 400 level Latin, which is great, and I love it, and it definitely doesn't kill me every single day. I'll also get to take Greek, but I only have to take like one or two classes, which I think that will be interesting, but it's probably also going to be really hard because I have to learn a whole second alphabet, so I don't even want to go there. For now, I'm just trying to keep Latin afloat. But and like it's really cool to learn, and it's cool to see how, you know, especially with knowing so much Spanish, to see what Spanish words come, you know, almost directly from Latin, and and you know, various English words that I can now figure out by word parts, you know, from knowing various Latin words. I can be like, oh, like this is what, you know, this is where this word comes from. Like this part is Latin for, you know, whatever. So it's interesting in that respect that it is so difficult. There's almost no rules for the structure of sentences and stuff, so it's like you have to completely go by context. So when you don't really understand the language, trying to go by context to figure out what it's saying is incredibly difficult. And on top of that, there's like over 1,000, I calculated it, over 1,000 ways to conjugate verbs, and like at least 500 different ways to write nouns, and it's just, there's so much, and you there's like not really set rules for that stuff, so you just have to memorize it, which sucks. Um, so basically, it's very difficult, and I'm talking about this a lot more than I said I was going to, but I'm almost done, I promise. Um, I'm gonna briefly say, very briefly, I watch a lot of anime, which I will talk about more in a different video. Um, so yeah, that's out there. Um, and then finally, I'm gonna wrap up with I like video games and gaming a lot, and also watching other people play games, play video games, like playthroughs and stuff. And I actually think I'm gonna add a playlist to this channel, of me like recording. I'm gonna record myself playing different video games that I have on my computer. I don't know. I think it would be fun, and it's something I've wanted to do, and I don't know. It might, if people are more interested in that than just hearing me talk about my life, then you know, there's something else that they can watch as well. So I mean, so I'm gonna add that. Maybe tomorrow I'll play something, but you guys can suggest games for me to play, I guess, as well. If you have any good ones. I like horror RPGs. Um, I mean, I'll pretty much play anything if I can get it on my computer for free or very cheap. So you guys can like request me. I have a lot of games already on my computer, so I'll probably just go through some of those until, you know, people request stuff or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there because it's got way longer than I thought it was gonna be. It's kind of loud outside my apartment, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Um, but yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it wasn't too long. You did ask me a very general question, so you know I have a lot to talk about. And I guess check out my gaming playlist whenever I put it up. Probably tomorrow or in a couple days. Uh, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys.